What if one decision quietly changes the balance of power inside the Western defense industry? For decades, American manufacturers dominated many of the procurement networks that supplied allied nations. Now, Canada has become the first non-European country admitted into the European Union's €150 billion safe defense program, opening new opportunities for Canadian industry while introducing fresh competition into markets long familiar to U.S. suppliers. Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Today, we're counting down the 5 biggest developments behind this historic agreement, and why its impact could reach far beyond defense contracts into manufacturing, aerospace production, and industrial competitiveness across the Atlantic. Number 5. Canadian aerospace wins big. SAFE opens new markets. Canada enters the SAFE framework with an aerospace sector that already punches above its weight. The country is home to globally recognized aircraft manufacturers, radar developers, satellite specialists, simulation companies, and advanced electronic suppliers. From Bombardier business jets to sophisticated mission systems and sensor technologies, Canadian firms already possess capabilities that align closely with Europe's growing defense requirements. The significance of SAFE is access. European governments are expanding investments in aerospace platforms, communications networks, surveillance systems, cybersecurity tools, and advanced manufacturing technologies. Much like the automotive industry, success depends on engineering expertise, production capacity, and supply chain integration. For Canadian manufacturers, SAFE creates a new runway for growth, investment, partnerships, and high-value industrial opportunities. But access to new markets is only part of the story. The real opportunity becomes clearer when we look at the unprecedented defense spending now spreading across Europe. Number 4. Europe rearms fast, defense spending surge accelerates. Canada's entry comes as Europe accelerates one of its largest defense industrial expansions in decades. While SAFE alone provides €150 billion in financing, it is part of a broader effort to strengthen production capacity across allied nations. Governments are increasing spending on air defense systems, military vehicles, drones, ammunition production, logistics platforms, and next-generation aerospace technologies. The goal extends beyond buying equipment. European leaders want stronger domestic manufacturing ecosystems capable of supporting long-term security needs. Recent procurement discussions, including major initiatives in Poland worth tens of billions of dollars, demonstrate how quickly plans are becoming contracts. For Canada, joining during this expansion phase provides an opportunity to secure valuable partnerships before supply chains become firmly established. Yet the size of Europe's spending plans is not the biggest headline. The bigger story is who has just been invited inside this rapidly expanding procurement framework. Number 3. Canada breaks in. First non-European SAFE partner. The development drawing the most attention is Canada's official admission into the SAFE program. On June 15, 2026, the European Council finalized Canada's participation agreement, making it the first country outside Europe to gain access to the EU's €150 billion defense financing initiative. That milestone carries significant industrial implications. SAFE was designed to encourage joint procurement and strengthen cooperation among participating nations. Canada's inclusion signals that European leaders view the country as more than an ally. They see it as a trusted manufacturing and technology partner. For industry, opportunities could emerge across aircraft systems, military vehicles, advanced sensors, communications networks, cybersecurity platforms, and other high-value sectors where engineering expertise and industrial capacity remain critical advantages. And that milestone may prove even more significant than it first appears, because Canada's admission reflects a broader shift that is reshaping how allied nations approach defense manufacturing altogether. If you're enjoying this breakdown of defense manufacturing, aerospace innovation, and industrial competition, subscribe to Piston Pundit and turn on notifications. We cover the factories, engineering breakthroughs, technologies, and geopolitical developments shaping the industries that move the world. Number 2. Defense industry shifts. New era of competition begins. The SAFE agreement reflects a much larger transformation across the Western defense industry. For decades, American manufacturers held a dominant position within allied procurement networks. While U.S. companies remain global leaders, governments are increasingly seeking diversified supply chains, stronger domestic production, and broader regional partnerships. Europe wants more manufacturing capacity. Canada wants greater industrial participation. Manufacturers want access to larger markets. Those goals are now converging. Rather than relying on a small group of suppliers, allied nations are encouraging greater multinational cooperation among European, Canadian, and American firms. Automotive enthusiasts will recognize the strategy. Much like vehicle manufacturers diversify suppliers and production hubs to reduce risk, defense industries are adopting similar approaches. The result is a more competitive, resilient, and interconnected industrial landscape. But perhaps the most important detail is that this transformation is no longer a future possibility. Evidence that the shift is already underway can be seen in one of Canada's most closely watched aerospace decisions. Number 1. Canada diversifies fast, European suppliers gain ground. The biggest development is that this shift is no longer theoretical, it is already happening. A major example emerged in May 2026 when Canada announced plans to acquire Saab's GlobalEye airborne early warning aircraft instead of Boeing's E-7 Wedgetail. The decision drew significant attention across the aerospace industry. GlobalEye combined Saab's advanced radar and surveillance systems with Bombardier's Canadian-built Global 6500 business jet, supporting both Swedish and Canadian industrial participation. More importantly, the selection showed Canada's growing willingness to consider European alternatives when they offer stronger technology, industrial benefits, or domestic economic value. For manufacturers, these choices influence where engineering, research, and production opportunities are located. While U.S. firms remain industry leaders, competition across allied defense markets is clearly becoming broader and more multinational. Taken together, these developments reveal why Canada's safe participation could become far more consequential than a single procurement agreement. Verdict: Canada's biggest defense opportunity in decades. Canada's entry into Europe's €150 billion SAFE program may ultimately be remembered as far more than a defense agreement. At its core, this story is about factories, skilled workers, engineering expertise, advanced manufacturing, and the future of industrial competitiveness. By becoming SAFE's first non-European participant, Canada has secured a unique position inside one of the world's fastest-growing defense procurement frameworks, while Europe gains access to Canadian aerospace innovation and production capabilities. The long-term impact could extend far beyond military equipment, influencing investment decisions, technology partnerships, and manufacturing growth across the Atlantic. What do you think? Should Canada continue diversifying its defense suppliers? Will SAFE create major opportunities for Canadian manufacturers? Could this become one of the decade's biggest industrial shifts? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We love to hear from you. For the latest updates on the automotive world and more in-depth analysis, subscribe to Piston Pundit and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on your screen. There's plenty more to explore.